Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus your video game enthusiast, industry analyst. And today it would be cool if I memorized the date. So it would be one run-on sentence. But for, June 12th, 2025, I'll run through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, what I've been doing. Man, this week has been rough, mainly work. We have a project that's really requiring a lot of my attention, but I'm at a point in my job where my responsibility is to really take it on and do it and stuff, but it is a lot. So feel free to vent if you want to vent about something in the chat, just, but I gotta say, I still appreciate my job a whole lot. I think it's always pushing me. Just like this morning, I was boxing with my friend Josh, boxing, fighting, whatever, sparring. Love doing it, been doing it every week. And it teaches me two things: that I am a badass fighter, but I also wear out easily. I mean, really. And I guess the fighting is because I trained when I used to work in private security, trained in judo and jujitsu, never had to use it. I've never been in a fight. The only time I've ever been in a fight was when I was sparring back in the day. And then right now sparring with Josh. But I love, it's the Jackie Chan stuff, guys. I'm a fan of Jackie Chan, but I love the, the thing we did near the end was he was like circling me just wherever, and I just had to go, bah, 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 bah. Oh, it's so fun. The problem is I'm having so much fun that it's it's like my issue with drumming. I like to drum fast, but if I'm not paying attention, I'll speed up, and then the rest of the band, and so when I'm doing, physical activity like that, like the fighting, the sparring, I'm not realizing how intense I am until it's done. So when we were done, and this was actually in the beginning of this morning, I threw up. He destroyed me, and but then I got better. It's just more of, this is what I need to be doing every week to really get myself, and whatever. That's not really video games, but oh, howdy, Chris, good to see you. But I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah, let's jump into video games, shall we? Okay, so yesterday, me and the youngest playing some more Actually, do I need to adjust this a little bit? Playing some more Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, single player. And I say single player, the Halo Infinite campaign gameplay is so good. And I remember that when I played it. Just to me, I felt like there wasn't a lot to do. Or the game didn't come off as a AAA Microsoft product. It did in some sense. I told you it's the weirdest thing ever. But anyway, just the moment to moment, me and my son were at the part where we have to like turn on certain things to get up into a covenant or banished thing. And just run in, toss a grenade at that guy, it sticks, while then I'm going to shoot that guy and then jump and turn and shoot while I land to pick up this explosive cell, throw to that guy while I pull out my machine gun and start shooting the guy that was over here. Like I love that gameplay flow. And it's interesting because like I think of other games that I feel like have a good gameplay flow, and it's like Sniper Elite. Almost, I think what Halo does more is Halo is more. Well, okay, hold on. AEMs, action events per minute. I just made that up. Well, like when you're playing a game, it'd probably be per second, right? Anyway, I got to come up with this formula for when you're playing a game and there's actions that you are doing moment to moment. That could be a fun way to rate a game. I would say Halo or like even a shmup are ones that are high up there, where the moment to moment you're actually constantly engaging some way with the environment. So where I think Microsoft would succeed more with Halo is if they made it episodic and it was on Game Pass, hear me out, where every year, maybe it's the beginning of the summer, not only do you get multiplayer maps, because I know everyone likes multiplayer, but I'm just talking about campaign, where you get like 2 Sniper Elite levels stuck together size open world Halo for the year of like a campaign where you can go through, play an easy, more legendary, whatever, up to 4 people, hidden things you can get, maybe cosmetics that then can be used in multiplayer. And then next summer comes around and it's the next Halo open world co-op thing that then has stuff that you can do in deathmatch. And it would be on Game Pass. I mean, I think that is the way to go. Actions per minute is usually with a RTS or MOBA. Yeah, but I mean more of a general term of all genres. If you can say how many action, and I should say per second, but I mean in terms of moment to moment gameplay. Because with a shmup, you're constantly shooting. But I know what you mean about the MOBA RTS thing, but this would be more general. And I'm going to try to formulate that. I'll ask ChatGPT to help because it's pretty good at the maths or coming up with the maths. Oh, speaking of using Copilot for work yesterday, oh my God. When I was talking about all this pressure from this work and using Copilot to help me with all these numbers, and I had to create a spreadsheet. Oh, I tell you guys. It was funny on Steven's show last night. We were using ChatGPT to do some coding. And then I remember someone made a comment like, wow, I didn't know it could do this or something like it went. And it's like, yeah, I don't think people realize. And I don't want to get off topic here, but I'm building an awesome music app with AI. It already works. I just have to refine it. And then I'm going to launch it and have a little donation button. It's basically a way to, wow, I'm getting off track here, but it's basically a way to find music using AI instead of like the traditional means. But let me move on from that. I could talk about that all the time. Okay. You know what? And I think that was about it. Infinite was supposed to have campaign updates while that game got destroyed on the content. Oh, I know. See, that's the thing. Infinite just didn't have the content. Like now it's pretty cool, but I would even say campaign-wise, which you're bringing up. Yeah, campaign-wise, they dropped the ball on that. I'm just glad they at least added the co-op because, like I said, I've been playing with my youngest, and that has been fun as heck. All right. You know what? I don't know if there's much in the way of interesting gaming news, so I might jump into a game. Let's see. Stellar Blade becomes the second PlayStation published game to pass 100,000 concurrent players on Steam. You know, it's interesting to think about this sort of thing because, of course, PlayStation slash Nikkei, whatever that's the game they make. Whatever, the Stellar Blade people would want 100,000 additional sales, of course. So that's why sometimes when I see that, I'm like, why wasn't the latest Gundam put on PlayStation? I know, but I tell you, these companies don't make sense sometimes. Well, I think it's what it is they are assuming, oh, this is a shift up. Thanks, Jim. They're assuming, oh, this is going to cost a lot, so we're not going to go do this. But then they're missing out on stuff. And then you have other companies. Didn't Square Enix just release Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox? And now they're saying, yeah, all their stuff is going to be multi-platform. Yeah, I think Square Enix specifically was like, we're not going to just have games on PlayStation anymore because they don't sell, which is crazy to think. Gundam doesn't have waifus pushing it to the stratosphere. And you know what? That is an interesting element you bring up, Autonomous. Speaking of shift up, and I'm not trying to talk down to any of these companies, but I think there is that embedded marketing that happens with waifus or that type of thing that helps a game. So if it doesn't have that, the companies have to be a little more creative with their marketing. And I think that's what it boils down to. You'll have these games come out, but these companies aren't putting the money in the right places, and it could be because they're scared. And how would I know? Well, I say it's, again, my 30 plus years of being a video game enthusiast and industry analyst, just seeing repeatedly what companies do to promote a game. And then when games then get abandoned or break up, you can see a through line that is apparent. And it has to do with marketing. If the game doesn't have any inherent marketing, you have to focus on marketing. And if a game has inherent marketing, you can save cost by focusing on that inherent marketing. Like Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Like, how would you market that? Well, you're going to market that as in regards to it already being something that is super popular. And so they're going to think of it differently, right? But when you get a game like Gundam Battle Destiny, how do you market it? Well, there probably is a way. They just didn't do it right. And here's the other thing, though, I want to bring up with the Gundam thing not being on PlayStation. It is possible that Nintendo paid Bandai, and that's how that happened, because they're losing money by it only being on the Switch and not on PlayStation or PC. 100%. First Descendant might be dead, but Tencent is buying it. I think that's a new thing that just came out. I'll look up if we could find it. Square Enix is forever a mercenary while they randomly had a way. Yeah, Chris, you bring up a good point about the expectations. I do think they've had too high expectations, but also they would have those expectations while not releasing games on multiple platforms. So they've rectified that, luckily. Yeah, what was that thing about? Let me see if I could find that news article. Okay, Tencent are reportedly interested in buying Nexon, owner of the Finals and the First Descendant. Nexon has a big list of celebrated franchises and releases. The developer and publisher seems to be going from strength to strength, and it's caught the attention of Tencent, which is considering buying the company to add to its ever-growing list of gaming investments. It was only recently that Tencent announced it had acquired 15% stake in Arrowhead Game Studios, makers of Helldivers 2. This adds to the company's repertoire, and it's reported that Tencent is now eyeing a deal for Nexon. I'll be honest, though, I'm not really playing these games, and I guess kind of the through line here is the kind of live service nature of these games. And I think a lot of these decisions are short term. Because like, oh, look, this is making a bunch of money. Let's invest in it right now. Not like, hey, what's something that could make a lot of money? Let's invest into it, So, yeah, that's why, I don't know. I mean, it's not a big deal. There's actually a lot of games owned under Tencent that are competent. I would even say that Metal Slug we got, Metal Slug Awakening, I'm pretty sure that was under Tencent. It would never, we've never would have had a modern Metal Slug game if it wasn't for that, even though it has live service features in it. It's just like the Gundam Eternal on mobile. It's the modern type of game that we like, but they have all the monetization in it. Fans know better than to get attached to a potential waifu heroine in Gundam because she's liable to die soon. First Descendant isn't bad, just two waifu also killing off the PS4 version. Oh, they killed off, I guess, graphics and all that. And I remember I played the beta or whatever First Descendant, and I liked the gameplay. I think it was, I don't know. Sometimes I'll play a game and it has a really good gameplay loop, but what is it that keeps me? And I think it's the nature of sometimes live service where I don't feel a connective experience. Oh, I forgot I had my lemon tea. Is very important. Nexon released the first Berserker Kazan, and that wasn't live service, so that is really cool because that game did really, really well, and that's a game I would love to play through. But it's just it plays similar to other games. They wanted to make sexier skins, and PS4 can handle the jiggle physics. I wish I was joking. Hey, I kind of believe you there. That's kind of funny. That is, I could see that. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we saw the thing with Stellar Blade. Let's go to gaming leaks and rumors. Tencent said to study deal for 15 billion game development. 15 billion, guys. Think of that compared to the Activision buyout. Because with the Activision buyout, those games I don't think had as much of a impact in China as these Nexon games do, and I think that is the key here. Witcher 3 will get a third expansion in 2026. That is actually pretty cool. I never finished Witcher 3, but to get another expansion in 2026, I actually jumped into Witcher 3 again not too long ago. Let me see. Yeah, in 2002 or 2022. So I guess that was kind of a while ago in this December. I'd only played, let's see. Interesting. Only played 5 hours. That seems like a good amount of time to kind of get the start in the game. I just don't think, I just didn't like the combat in it. And then, okay, you know what? Steam 4 hours of Witcher 2. Okay, I really liked Witcher 2 actually. Okay. Let's see. I doubt on the jiggle because well, actually, let's ask that with ChatGPT real quick. Why did First Descendant get canceled on PS4? That's probably a better way to word that. All right. We'll end on June 19th, 2025. So, yeah, Ultronymous is, I guess you have a PS4, and that would be a game you would be playing, and then you would just have to stop, right? That's actually kind of wild. So, Nexon reported frustration with the effort needed to maintain the builds. These older consoles couldn't keep up with the expanding scale of the game's mega season content. Okay, well, what is that content? Yeah, it's jiggle physics. I don't know. Interesting. I think the majority of players are on next-gen consoles and PC anyway. I can't imagine how awful this game must look on PS4 and Xbox One. But don't so many people have a PS4? I just feel like that's like a waste of a console. Like if you have it and it works, yeah, sure, get a PS5. But I don't know. Wow, that is actually pretty sad because if I wasn't into gaming as much as I was, I think I would be perfectly fine with a PS4 right now. I think PS4 games look great still. Yeah, that's. I was the second they gave the news of it being okay, no point saying when it. Yeah. Oh, DOA. Well, you know what? I do have DOA on PS4, but it is the graphics are pretty good, but it's way less on that now. That's kind of interesting. I kind of feel sad for people that were expecting to still play. You know what? I think, what do I want to do? I want to jump into a game. So I had played Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine Mastercrafted Edition in the cloud, and it was fun. But I've been wanting to play it local to see how it runs because, like I've mentioned, it still does sort of look like the older original game. It's not as, they call it Mastercrafted Edition, so it's not a remaster. Could it be a remaster? I mean, we're going to get in the weeds of the technical terms, but I think the main thing... Okay, what is it doing? When I said launch... Oh, it's installing still. Dependencies. One of two. I'll show you guys. Isn't that annoying where I was like, hey, I'm going to play this game real quick, and then... Oh, let me adjust something. There we go. Well, while it's doing that, then let me go back to news. See if there's anything else more interesting. Remedy unannounced fourth game in Alan Wake title, possibly Doors spinoff. Okay, I wonder if they're just now with Epic. I don't know how that works. Because remember the idea that Alan Wake 2 probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Epic? I find that very interesting. Okay. Oh, here's something interesting. When playing Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine Mastercrafted Edition through Game Pass on the Xbox app, it actually launches it in the Epic Game Store. Which, hey, I get it that this stuff happens sometimes, but it's pretty wild. Like the multiple, like even with the BattleNet, even if you're using Game Pass. Oh yeah, that's I was playing. Let me adjust this. I was playing Division 2 on UB Connect, but then it added it into the Xbox app, and then I launched it from the Xbox app, but just opened the UB Connect. I feel like there could be a back-end service that's on a platform where everything is done, and then locally you're just launching what's needed. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. So video options, we got 4K full screen set to high VSync. I'm going to turn off because I just don't do it in game. There's not much going on here, but I think a lot of that has to do with this is an older game. And that's the other cool thing about this is probably going to run good on your PS4. I don't know if this is going on PS4. Oh, crossplay, that's cool. Streamer mode. Hides your online session password. So that's pretty cool. They added all that stuff in here. Let's just do this. Yeah, I'm in the middle of something. Again, Space Marine 2 is out, looks and runs fantastic. There's something about this game that's a little more fun for me. Oh. Yeah, you know what? I will say my game cloud streaming experience is usually different. This game really does not look good streamed, and because the graphics aren't like super crazy, and I think it's only about 30 gigs maybe, I would say this is a game to download and not stream.
They survived under the shadow of that gun. I want to know how.
Uh-oh, walking sections, and I think this is a secret. Yeah, not secret, but a collectible.
Keep firing! Keep firing!
No! That was my friend. All right. And it's pretty interesting and cinematic how this game looks from when it came out. What was it, 2011? Oh yeah, the dodge. Let's just tear people up. Look at that. Oh, cool. I already killed 100 enemies in this game? Wow. Dude, I wonder if it pops up on the screen. Okay. Look at how cool all this is. Let's shoot that. Wow, that head exploded. Okay. Here we go. Get some ammo. Cutscene. So yeah. Yeah, take a look at
Rise, guardsmen.
the graphics here. You could tell.
You saved yourselves.
Not great, but it's modernized enough.
We would be, my lord, if not for the lieutenant.
Predecessor was another game that was on PS4 that got axed in light of staying on PC.
Follow the trench network.
So this
to
was
the
a third-person
lieutenant's
sci-fi MOBA.
Carry on, guardsmen.
Ah, that actually sounds pretty neat. I don't know if I remember that.
Find this lieutenant. We need updated intel.
Ultranis, is there any live service game you're playing right now, or anything on PS4? Let's see. Oh,
Through here, my lords. Head out the upper level and continue through the plaza. The bunker is beyond that.
okay. Let's do
A
this.
few hundred against 1,000,000 orcs.
What?
They fight on.
No.
Only in death.
Get off! My legs. I can't feel my legs.
I got to see a space marine.
You know what? And then even playing through this, they really did a good job in Space Marine 2 kind of retaining the Space Marine video game thing. I don't know how to explain it, but like
at a broken monument near the guard lines.
Space Marine 2 is like the Resident Evil 4 remake, where some of the charm is lost by modernizing it, you know? But this, again, it's not like a full remaster or remake, but there's just some quality of life improvements. Alright, I just want to go rip and tear. Another...
Sergeant, I see you.
I'd say this looks bland, but it feels more stylized than just generic round shooter. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is a little bland. And yeah, that's the thing. Like, I wonder if some people will look at it and be like, "Oh, these graphics aren't great." But I think the point was Sega to quickly get out a Warhammer or Space Marine game since they own it. Heck yeah. What? Stuck on geometry. Okay. Oh yeah. And then you just do Y and A and get health back. Not all the time. Where are these guys going? I almost feel like they were just like spawning just around. Cool ship flying by. My screen went black, guys. The game messed up. Wow. I can hear and see.
Life is the Emperor's currency. Spend it well.
That's disappointing. And that wasn't like a stream or computer thing. That was...
I may have encountered the orc during our journey. That
was the orc
Wow.
I saw crash near here, I take it. Piece of
If the horde hasn't turned on itself, it's still under.
Let's see if that happens again. Did I like trigger something? Oh, that's so satisfying. All right. controls are a little... I probably could mess with the sensitivity. I just sometimes get tired of that, and it's like, I'll just try to build the muscle memory. Let's see. I do have the tension rings actually on the controller. I don't know if I'm showing, so I could... Yeah, actually, that feels better. I tell you, even though there is a control, this controller has a higher tiered version. This one, wait, there's multiple. This one's a bit better because of the. Oh, maybe I should have went that way.
Target that squig.
Let me go back over here real quick. Okay, yeah, it is just ammo. Is there like a secret? Or was that really just for ammo? You know, I love, you know, these games when they're like more linear action shooters, but you can kind of trail off the path and it'll be like a collectible. And it's interesting because Expedition 33 was that the game. I mean, you know, you had the turn-based combat, but other than that, you're traveling a very linear path that did have little branching areas of like story or collectibles. It's funny, Expedition 33 came out around the same time as 33 Immortals. I remember 33 Immortals having a big push by Phil Spencer when that was first announced, but then since then, I don't think people ever talk about it. Yay, grenades. Let's see. Oh, Genshin Impact Phantasy Star Online 2 for the next month anyway. PC numbers. I've always wanted to try Phantasy Star Online 2. In fact, I think I did, like, what, 10 years ago or something? Because hasn't it been around for a while? I forget. Dreamcast? More than 10 years? Oh, look at that combat. And the other thing I want to add, yeah, this is, you know, older game. Might not look as great, but it just feels fun to play. It's not asking any more than, you know, this sort of fun. Okay, I'm getting shot. Look at that.
Dropship incoming!
Whoa! Hold on. That was fun. You really gonna drop more? I don't think it's gonna work out. All right, it's about that time. Either I can kill this guy real quick, or I myself die. Oh wait, no. Nice. That was fun. Okay, I saw a guy run over.
Space Marines, thank you. We thought we were done for.
All right, this is probably a perfect time
Inside, but the door is sealed.
I believe they will let us through.
to end this.
Imperial Guard, we are Ultramarines.
PSO2 is neat. A few folks in my build club swear by. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. You know what? This weekend I might just check. Yeah, I've always been curious about the game for a lot of reasons. What's happening? Can I not shoot? My stuff? Oh, it wants me to go? That's weird. I don't know if that's a bug or the game is intending me to. Alright. No, we probably. Okay. Well, the game is saved. A few bugs, if you guys noticed. I didn't. That's interesting. I didn't have those bugs when I was cloud streaming. That's interesting. Okay, let me go back to this. Let me click that. All right, so let's see what else is going on. It's very waifu centric in the cosmetics, but the gameplay is what I've always been interested in. Every time I've looked at it, even since the Dreamcast days of the Phantasy Star Online or whatever, it's been appealing. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump. Got to get to work. This was a lot of fun. Hope you all have a good rest of the day. We will talk again tomorrow.